All right, guys. So we're here at softball tournament, the Dodgers Bloggers tournament, and we're actually here sitting with Josh Macciello.
We're both 0-2 right now in the tournament, both teams.
We're not doing so great, but it's all good, man. It's been a great day. So basically, we just wanted to talk to Josh and just there's some questions that you guys asked. We're here sitting with them. We're gonna ask them. So first question, Josh, is there was a lot of questions when you first came out. You had like gold lines and whatnot, but that's changed now. You're not dealing no more with gold lines, and you actually have partners, right? Because that was one of the biggest concerns. People were talking, well, you're going to leverage these gold lines. What's the difference between that and what Franklin Park they have coming into?
Well, I still have the gold mines, but they're not being used at all in this deal. Fortunately for me, there was a lot of people who were Dodger fans that have a lot of money backing them up that wanted to be my partner and wanted to help me follow my dreams of taking this organization back to where they can be, and that's win a championship. So we put the gold mines on the side in regards to this deal, but we still have them and we use them for other businesses. You know.
And we know you're shooting for the whole thing, but just say it didn't happen, whatever. And Carlos wants to know, would you be interested in becoming a GM if something that didn't go out exactly as planned?
I've been asked that, by parties actually involved in this deal. I can't answer that right now because I'm not one of those guys that sits there and says, what ifs. I want the team. My goal is to go out and get this team. And when I'm told that I'm not allowed to do that anymore, then I'll look into other challenges that I might want to look up and go after. But as of now, Josh Macciello is making every effort to buy the Dodgers, the land, everything. So I don't want to think about anything else right now. I really don't.
Now I don't know how much you can talk about. I've seen the documents, so I can verify right now in front of everybody. I've seen the documents. I've seen the bid. I've seen what's available for this purchase. So I can for
proof of funds.
Yeah, the proof of funds are there. Everybody that's doubting like where the money's coming from, whatever. I've seen it firsthand, so I can tell you, it's legit. It's a legit bid. So you were on with Mason Allen this week, basically. What's going on? Like when you submitted the bid, what happened from that? What happened?
Well, initially, the reason why when people were saying, oh, you thought you were going in the next round, and I actually did. We were never notified, good or bad. So, and what we were told was that a lot of people were notified when they weren't moving on. So we were just focused on putting our team together in the front office, thinking about winning this thing. So where we're currently at now is we're still in this thing. This thing's far from over. I still in my heart and my team thinks and knows that we're going to own the Dodgers. And we feel confident to where this is headed right now. It's headed in the right direction. We think we're going to start being treated fairly, and I'm expecting to own this team.
So have you heard anything as far as okay, you put your bid, now you're trying to contact them. Is there any timetable that you're kind of working with?
Yeah. Look, pretty soon I'm not going to be able to be doing these interviews anymore. Come next week, I'm going to have a gag order pretty much on me, I'm sure. But let's just say before the end of this month, you guys will see Josh Macciello back in the whole hunt of this thing and going aggressive to own the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Now, do you think because you've been so public, you're the only guy out there out of that whole list that's saying, what, I want the Dodgers, I want to buy the Dodgers. Do you think that will be negative going forward? Is that something you think MLB can use against you? Publicly actually admitting what your bid is?
Well, why would MLB want to be against a guy who's married 13 years, family guy, played the game, respects the game, doing everything in his power, saying what he wants for his dreams? I hope MLB would not do that because that would be, one of the most ridiculous things I ever heard. You're talking, I'm saying what I want. I'm having a dream that I'm able to fulfill, and I'm able to say that I want to fulfill those dreams. So if anybody, MLB or anybody, is trying to stop me from doing that and they don't have the right to, I find that unfair, and I'm not going to stand for that. So.
I've heard you talk about what you want to do to the stadium, what kind of renovations, what kind of things you'd like to do to bring it back to being a family environment. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think that Dodger Stadium lost that appeal, and it's stuck in that lull. And I think that I'm not going to knock the stadium down. I've been saying that because, I'm not a fan of doing that. I think that's a historical place that has some magical moments. I think if we just reface it and implement things, like I said before, like batting cages or wiffle ball parks and things like that, like some of the other stadiums did, and then you throw in, my team and I are very happy about putting a Little League ballpark somewhere in that area to where, you got kids playing ball right outside the stadium. Things like that, along with refacing and making the stadium a little more modernized, I think that will go a long way for us as Dodgers. Now, also money. It's a nice hit right there. Also money to have for operating capital. We're going to have a boatload. Figure it's a couple $100 million a year to manage this kind of team. So, we're going to come with 3 or 4 times that we have. So we could, if we decide to go after the free agents, that makes sense. Go after the ones that make sense. Not pay $200 million for 7 or 8 or 9 years with a guy that you don't know on year 5, 6, and 7 is going to give you what you're going to get. So we're going to make smart moves with that money. And I believe in my heart, once I own this team, we're winning a championship come first year. So.
I mean, something like this would be awesome. If there was a big league team, this would be awesome to have right outside the stadium, right nearby.
Maybe we'll talk to the people that own the park and see if they would mind letting us develop that there. I mean, that's an outstanding idea. And the Dodgers are a historical franchise, and I think that if you put something like this there with all the historical stadiums and stuff, you'll see fans, even the non-Dodger fans, want to go and experience themselves at a Dodger game. I want to make the Dodgers that kind of team. When you go to New York and you go to Yankee Stadium, there are fans that are, Oakland A fans that go because they're in New York because the Yankees are an experience. That's the kind of thing when people say, oh, I don't want to move the Dodgers to Brooklyn. I want to move that whole winning experience that the Yankees have in New York to LA. I want, the question's been asked, if the Yankees were for sale now, would you buy them? No, I would not buy the Yankees because the Yankees already have what they have. I want to make the Dodgers have what the Yankees have got going on. I want to say, hey, in the last 10 years, we won 4, 5, 6 championships. So now we got to get respected. So that's my goal.
I'm glad you addressed that too. A lot of comments I've seen are like, oh, he just wants to move back to Brooklyn, this and that,
No, I want to beat up on the Yankees in the World Series. That's my goal, and I want to do it from here. I coined the phrase Yankees West, and it's not to give the Yankees respect. It's to say that pretty soon they're going to say, Dodgers of the East. That's pretty much what we're looking to do. So, I'm excited about the possibilities. The Dodgers will be here forever. It's 78 degrees every day in this place. I love it here. I'm not going anywhere.
So your bid has been made publicly, right? The 2.2 billion. A lot of people that hear that number like just think, wow, that's a crazy number. Like, what made you bid that much when kind of what everybody's been bidding is at 1.5?
They're not bidding for the same thing that I am. They're just bidding for the team, the stadium, and the media rights deal, and they're willing to pay Frank, for the parking lots. I'm saying, here's a lot of money. I want everything. That's my goal. And it depends if you're putting a dollar amount. I believe on the future of the Dodgers. People saying, well, this is what the Dodgers are worth now. To me, I believe in the future of the Dodgers. I think that the Dodgers, it'll all balance itself out because we'll have a family-friendly environment, and if we're guys that are not sitting here looking, oh, we got to make our money back now. We don't care. We're here for the long haul, and it'll all start to happen if we do our jobs, the players do their jobs, the fans do their jobs, and this will be the smartest investment 5, 6, 7 years from
now. One thing too, I've had some conversations with Mark Cuban, obviously, and one of the things he said that makes a lot of sense is, what he would say, like he wasn't going to bid over a certain amount of money because he wanted basically to put money back into the team. So if you spent way too much, there was going to be no money in return to put back into the team.
It's because Mark only has a certain amount of money.
Yeah, so how do you
we don't. That? The 2.2 is a fraction of what we have and what we're putting into this thing. We're coming with major additional funds. Not another $2 billion, but half of that probably to have for the team and the refacing of the stadium. So we're going to have more than enough money, guys. That's not going to be our problem with Josh Macciello and his team.
So can you talk about, like, in the interviews I've heard, you're in contact a lot with Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
You always say, what would Tom, if we talk to Tommy, what?
Look, Tommy's in a position now where he works for the Dodgers currently, and he can't come out and say, you know, that he wants to back Josh Macciello because he can't, you know, he can't. He doesn't know where I stand right now, like most other people I'm in communication with don't know where I stand. I could almost be certain that he wouldn't say Josh Macciello is a bad guy who doesn't know a thing about baseball, and you know, I think he would say the contrary to that. So, you know, I consider Tommy, and I'm sure he considers me, a very dear friend right now. And you know, when the time comes, if and when I own this team, you know, I'm going right to Tommy and saying you're still going to be the advisor to the chair as you are, and I'm going to make offers to other guys. If Oral Hershiser is still out there on the market, I'm going to go and make a call to Oral and say, look, I really want you to be my team president. You know, these are the kind of moves I want to make. And you know, in regards to would I keep Coletti and would I keep you know, Don Mattingly? Well, you know, I think it's very unfair to the scrutiny that they had to try to perform and do their jobs on it. And I truly believe that, you know, I'm a guy that likes to, I'm an underdog, so I like to give people a chance. So I would like to give them a chance to see what they would do in the management that thinks along the lines that they do.
So, you know, you're talking about kind of putting together this Dodger dream team, you know, in the front office, and I think that'd be, you know, that'd be huge as far as for the fans. I mean, I know you've told me some stuff, and I don't know how much you can say, but I mean, I've heard some of the ideas that Josh has mentioned, and like I said, if that came to fruition, I know every Dodger fan, if you're, like I said, if you're a Dodger fan, you'd totally be behind that, just because.
Well, look, if Josh Macciello had a dream team that he could put together, and I was allowed to, you know, and these guys wanted to work with me, you know, I would see myself with Ned still in the picture, with Tommy Lasorda there, Oral Hershiser, you know, and Don Mattingly. You know, as of right now, that's my squad going in, and you know, I can't talk about the moves I would make, but you and I have talked off camera. There's some pretty exciting moves that I would do that I think could make this team be a championship caliber team for the next 3 to 4 years. You know.
So as far as we're just kind of a little bit hypothetical. You know, okay, you're going in. You know, next season you're the owner. Like, what type of owner would you be pursuing? You know, free agents. You know, these guys that are on the market. You're gonna kind of, okay, you know, now you spent, you know, $2.2 billion. How would you go into free agency and kind of spend?
Pitching and defense wins this game. I don't care what anybody else thinks that you need just sluggers. That's not the case. Pitching and defense wins these games. And you know, I don't want to have a team that we have to slug it out all the time. That's not, you know, this game is won on pitching and defense and playing smart baseball. And I think we're 87% to being an unbeatable, just always you're going to have to play hard for 9 innings against us. We're almost there. So I would make the right moves to fill in the spots that we need to take us to that level. And it's not that far off. People don't know, you know, maybe another good arm that I would go after that is just a guy that you know is going to give you, you know, that every other day or every third day, you know, he's going behind the ace or something. These are the kind of things that I would put in there. And, you know, maybe a position player.
So, I mean, would you be willing to spend? I mean, you know, after 08, you know,
I'm willing to spend.
We didn't take advantage of, you know, the league, the holidays, you know.
A lot of guys, you know, and yes, I am. I'm going to go after that. Look, I come from the Steinbrenner school of winning. I think you have to do it that way, but I also, you know, a couple of moves Steinbrenner made I didn't like. I didn't like the Giambi move. I thought that hurt the Yankees, you know. So I wouldn't do things like that just because the guy seems that he can hit 35 home runs a year. I think we need to make smart moves that go with what our team model is, you know, and that's what I'm willing to spend money on all day long.
I'm hoping you get some room. I'm hoping that MLB gets, you know, all this nonsense out of the way taken care of, and you get into the room, you know, given a fair shot, you know, along with Cohen and you know, Magic and you know, these guys that are still in it. You know, I think if it goes down to that, you know, get the best guys that are suited to go in there and bring you know, bring some champions back to LA. You know, that's what we need. That's what the fans want. I mean, we want an owner that's going to be passionate, that's going to be passionate about the team, that just isn't looking at this as another business deal, and they're going to get, you know, $3-4 billion off of a TV deal, and that's all they're looking at. We need somebody that's going to be passionate for the team, passionate for the fans, and passionate for the city going forward. You know, 88 is a long time. You know, it's a long time. You know, with a couple of sporadic playoffs here and there, like I said. but you know.
But who's doing this for playoffs, Roger? You know, I'm not in this. Josh Macciello is not going to be happy next year to say, hey, we made it to the playoffs. I don't care about that, man. I'm going to be happy saying, you know, we won the World Series. That's my mentality. If you see how I play the game out here today, you'll see that I'll be the owner the same way I play. I play to win. You know, I'm not going to come off the field and be a smile on my face. You know, I want to win. I want to win more than anybody. You know, so, you know, my goal is to not care about the media rights and all that stuff. I care about the Dodgers and making them money. So what I'm going to do is put the money, I'm going to get in the room. And if I get in the room, I'm going to win this thing. And then it's going to be exciting. Then you're going to see all the fans, you know, rejuvenated and feeling like, yo, we got what we want. Because no matter what people say and what papers report what, I got a large fan base, man. I got millions of fans that I'm getting hits every day, you know, and it's pretty exciting. So, you know, I'm up for the challenge. Look, I knew this thing wasn't going to be easy. I knew I was going to have to go through some stuff like this. I really did. And if it didn't happen, I would have been worried. I really would have, because you know I did come out of nowhere. But I was ready for this. I was ready for this, both setting myself up with my representation, and I knew that something like this would happen. But I always knew that if we're honest people doing the right thing, that we'll always have the ability to make sure we get a fair shake, even if it's not given to us. We'll take it. So.
Yeah, that's, I mean, like I said, the Dodger fans are hungry. It's not like, you know, playoffs are cool, but I think the city wants a championship. It needs a championship, and I think, you know, with new ownership, it's got to happen within the next, you know, year or two, within the first 3 or 4 years.
We got the players to do it now, and I'm expecting as an owner a lot out of Loney and a lot out of Ethier. You know, I don't mind just hitting 300, but I want the extra that goes along with that. You know, those guys are outstanding players, and you know, I think they all have the capability to be like, you know, a Matt Kemp. You know, and I expect that. And you know, with those 3 guys I just mentioned, then you throw in Gordon, who to me is going to be one of the best base stealers in the league for a long time. I mean, this team's going to be exciting. I can't wait to get the rings in it. I really can't.
All right, Josh, I appreciate the time. Like I said, you know, totally, you know, impartial person. I've seen what Josh presented to me. It's legit. I mean, I personally, whatever Josh has told me, you know, I've checked it out myself, and if I can verify it, I have no reason to doubt what Josh is saying and he's trying to do. You know, it's up to MLB now to take what he's showing them. You know, the money's there, everything's been done in order. It's up to MLB to let him into the room and let basically, you know, the best person fight this out and give us the best owner for the team, you know, moving forward.
My fear is that everybody's so scared about Frank McCourt that they might let a really good owner like myself slip through the cracks, and you know that's what I don't want to happen. You know, and I'm up for the challenge. You know, so you know you've been a good support. You know, I've been open and honest with you. You know, ever since we first met, you reached out to me, and I think this is going to be exciting, and I think we have a shot to do a lot of exciting things for the next, hopefully, 10 to 20 years.
All right, sounds good, Josh.
Thanks, Roger.
Thanks for the time.